Okay. Hi, everyone. We're Megan and Sarah, and today we're going to talk about Pocket Advocate, helping every family navigate IEPs. The IEP process is generally confusing for families, especially those from under-resourced areas or those who are low income or have language barriers. There's a steep learning curve for knowing what rights you have and what services you are entitled to, how to read evaluation results, and how to effectively advocate for a student. For this reason, many families look for and consult with special education advocates. Advocates can help with this process by being a mediator and third-party supporter for families during IEP meetings. They are knowledgeable about the process and about what services students are entitled to, preparing families for meetings and negotiating with the school on their behalf. Outside of meetings, they can help parents make sense of the evaluations their child takes and their progress reports, or even prepare written requests to the school or complaints to the State Department of Education. Having an advocate is a major advantage, but many families do not have access to one, either because they are unaware of special education advocates or because they struggle to find one that matches them financially or culturally. Many advocacy services are place-based or charge families, and we want to overcome these limitations. The problems our solution aims to tackle in the IEP process are as follows. 1, how do we make the IEP process more equitable and support the most vulnerable families in this process? 2, how can we overcome communication barriers that families face during the IEP process, specifically language and culture barriers? We propose Pocket Advocate, a platform that connects volunteer advocates to families by matching them on an important set of criteria. For families, our service will run on a mobile app and/or through text. 96% of adults in the US own a phone and 81% own a smartphone, so we chose to focus on text and app functionality first to provide greater accessibility for families. Advocates will receive all messages, whether sent through text or an app, through the mobile app.
Next, I will talk about how exactly we will make sure these advocates are qualified to work with our families. So we are looking for a few different professionals. So firstly, we are looking for lawyers with special education backgrounds and special education teachers. We are also looking for law students with special education coursework who have been referred by a professor or are enrolled in a pro bono program, so we know that they are qualified to work with these families. The reason we are recruiting law students is because many law schools already have pro bono programs. And in addition, in other industries such as dental school, dental students will provide free services to underprivileged populations in exchange for experience. And we think that this model will also transfer well to this setting. In addition, we understand that not all advocates have professional degrees. And in this case, we want to also accept advocates who have extensive lived experience advocating for a child with learning differences. And if a volunteer does not meet these criteria, they can also complete additional training before beginning to volunteer. Next, I will talk about the matching criteria to match advocates to families. So first, we will match based on the learning disability that the student has, because we want to make sure the advocate can be effective in helping the student. In addition, we will match based on language as well as location, which may actually become optional depending on if virtual participation in IEP meetings is still appropriate in the future. Our next big thing to target is how we can advertise these services to people who need them. So first, we will place information about this platform on commonly used websites such as understood.org and COPA. In addition, we will advertise through schools, and we will also advertise in non-school routes because advocacy can become a little bit complicated when working with school administrations. So we will advertise through libraries as well as places of worship, which are resources and places that are frequented by families from low-income backgrounds. Overall, Pocket Advocate meets a gap that is really important right now because many families do not have access to the advocates that they need because advocates are very expensive. And we hope that Pocket Advocate can provide them with a way to more effectively navigate the IEP process. Thank you for listening to our pitch.